It appears the West End is the only option for a professional soccer stadium in Cincinnati.
FC Cincinnati essentially ditched Oakley and Newport tonight, leaving only the West End in play. This despite publicly saying last month that the neighborhood was no longer an option. Local 12's Anjanette Levy is live on the West End with a few of the questions that still need to be answered. Anjanette.
Yeah, and there really are a lot of questions to be answered tonight, Rob. This is certainly not a done deal yet. FC Cincinnati President Jeff Berding says talks are continuing with people here in the West End, with elected officials and members of the Cincinnati School Board, but there is little doubt this has been a roller coaster ride as we go back and forth between different locations for a potential soccer stadium. Now, first, as you'll recall, it was Oakley, then that appeared to be out. Then the talk turned to the West End, but there was little support for that here in the neighborhood. Cincinnati Public School officials passed a resolution that stated 3 things were needed to seal a deal here in the West End. That would be a fair tax agreement, a transparent process, and inclusion of the West End neighborhood. Then the talk about Newport came up after that, but officials in Newport said they really hadn't had any conversations with FCC about building a stadium there. Now tonight, we are back to the West End. Jeff Berding issued a statement earlier. Part of it reads, "Experience shows that successful MLS teams have stadiums in the urban core. While we have yet to achieve necessary political support to advance plans for a privately financed stadium in the West End, we continue to engage elected leaders in Cincinnati to build a winning partnership here in the city." Meanwhile, City Council member Wendell Young, you'll recall, he's been opposed to a stadium here in the West End. He told me the promise of money and a stadium sounds good in the short term, but there is no evidence stadiums have done anything to enhance a neighborhood. The West End has suffered enough development that has hurt the neighborhood. Now, Cincinnati's Public School Board, I contacted several members of that school board tonight. I did not receive a call back, or a lot of those school board members would not comment. I've also reached out to some city council members, and none of them would comment either. Reporting live in the West End, Anjanette Levy, Local 12 News. Rob, back to you.
Anjanette, thank you very much. There are many unanswered questions, as you heard. One of them is about city money going towards this project. In December, City Council voted on a plan that would give the stadium $37 million, but that was to develop the Oakley site. Wendell Young says council would have to vote again. And a source has told me that a majority of council is now in favor of the West End site. But Young says he's not certain there are enough votes. We'll surely keep you apprised of any new developments. By the way, FCC has their first home game this Saturday against defending USL champions Louisville City FC. Kickoff at 7, and you can watch the match live on Star 64.